Hello 6th graders. Our video lesson today will be on lesson number 63, Subtracting Mixed Numbers with Regrouping, Part 2. I'll be following the book example as well as giving you some lesson practice examples to make sure you've really got it. Our first example asks us to subtract 5 1/2 minus 1 2/3. Now we have been working on how to subtract fractions and even mixed numbers that do not have common denominators. But today we're going to learn how we use regrouping to subtract certain kinds of mixed numbers. So in this case we have 5 1/2 and 1 2/3. I'm going to rewrite them over here. We have 5 1/2. Just leave it now. And it's 1 2/3. Really bad 3. Okay, so in this case, we can't subtract them right now because they don't share a common denominator. So we're going to have to make one. We learned that, or we know that if they can't go into each other, like 2 can't go into 3 and 3 can't go into 2, we have to multiply them. So, let's do that. In this case, we have 2 and 3, so we're going to have to multiply 2 and 3 together, and that will give us 6. So we know in the end, we're going to have a mixed number that has a fraction with a denominator of 6. So we look at just our 1/2, we'll ignore the whole numbers right now. We have 2 times what equals 6? 3. What we do to the bottom, we do to the top. And then that'll be 1 times 3 is 3/6. And we'll just shoot that 5 right on over. And then we have 3 times what is 6? That's 2. So we change our numerator to the same thing. And then we have 2 times 2 is 4. And again, we'll move the whole number over. So now we've got 5 3/6 minus 1 4/6. But did you see the problem with this right now? 3 minus 4 will lead us to have a negative number. So obviously that's not going to work. So we're going to regroup using the 5. So we'll change the 5 into a 4. And then we'll change the extra 1 into a fraction. So 4 plus 6 over 6. So if I wrote this out fully, now we are dealing with 4 plus 6/6 plus 3/6, which gives us 4 9/6. So now, can we subtract 1 4/6 from this? You bet. So we're just going to bring this over, 1 4/6. Subtract our whole numbers. 4 minus 1 is 3. 9 minus 4 is 5. And we have our answer of 3 5/6. Our second example is in the lesson practice, and it will be letter A, 5 1/2 minus 3 1/3. Notice how we keep those same denominators like we did in the previous example. So we have the 2 and 3 to work with. So already we know that we're going to have a common denominator of 6. So let's start off with 5 1/2 times something over something, which will give us that denominator of 6. And then 3 1/3 times something over something will give us another fraction over 6, or mixed number in this case. So we have 2 times 3 is equal to 6, so we'll plug that in. What you do to the bottom, you do to the top. In this case, 1 times 3 is 3. Bring the 5 over. And 3 times 2 is 6. that'd be 2/6. 3 on over. So now we have 5/6 minus 2/6. Can we subtract those? Yes, we can. So in this case, we didn't need to regroup, but we did need to make common denominators. So 5 minus 3 is 2. 3/6 minus 2/6 is 1/6. So our answer is 2 and 1/6. Lesson practice B is 4 1/4 minus 2 1/3. This time we have different denominators, but we still have to make them common. So now we know that 4 can't go into 3, and we know that 3 can't go into 4, so we have to multiply them. So I will begin by writing them each individually. 4 1/4 and 2 1/3. So now let's fill in the blanks. 4 times 3 is 12, so I know that I'm going to end up with a mixed number with 12 as my denominator. So 4 times 3 is 12. What I do to the bottom, I do to the top. 1 times 3 is 3. Move my 4 over. In this case, 3 times 4 is 12. What do I do at the bottom? Well, it's on the top. So 1 times 4 is 4. And again, the 2 moves over. So now I am left with a subtraction problem of 4 3/12 minus 2 4/12. But again, I have that problem like I did in the example where 3 minus 4 will end up with a negative number. So I can't do that. So I am going to change my 4 into a, you guessed it, 3. And then I'm going to add a denominator or fraction equal to 1 with denominators of 12, or the denominator of 12. So it'll be 12 over 12. But I can't forget about the 3/12 I already have, so I'm going to have to add on another 3/12. So right now I am at 3 15/12 minus 2 4/12. And now I'm able to subtract. 3 minus 2 is 1. 15 minus 4 is 9. Put my 12 down there. And my answer is 1 9/12. That's not right. That's 11. Sorry guys, wrong math. Sorry. Even teachers mess up. So now 15 minus 4 is 11. So it's 1 11/12. Again, I apologize. Next we will be doing example C, which is 6 1/2 minus 1 3/4. We are given different denominators this time, so let's see how that changes what we do. This example is a little different because before we didn't have denominators that wouldn't go into each other. This time we do, because I know that the 2 can go into the 4. So let's see what we can do. Start by writing out what we have. So we have 6 1/2, and we have 1 3/4. So I will have to have a mixed number that ends or has a denominator of 4. So 2 times 2 is 4. Apply 2 there. 1 times 2 is 2. Move the 6 over, and then I'll have 6 and 2/4. Now I don't need to go through this process though because this is already in fourths. So I'm just going to move my 1 3/4 over, and I'll subtract my whole numbers. 6 minus 1 is 5, but 2/4, and I can't subtract 2/4 minus 3/4. So again, this is where I have to regroup. So my 6 now changes into a 5, and then I have to add in my 4/4 to stand in for my 1, plus the 2/4 that I already have, and that will be 5. That'll be 5 and 6/4 minus the 1 3/4 I already have. 5 minus 1 is 4. 6 minus 3 is 3. So my final answer will be 4 3/4. I hope that you were able to understand the lesson from these few examples. If not, I will work with you tomorrow. Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. But I am very confident that you understood it from this lesson. So please go to work after you've watched this video, or you can go back if you need to review something, and please stay on task while you have work time for your math. Thank you.